to the regular meeting of the Board of East Central Independent School District Board of Trustees being held on October 15, 2020, beginning at 6:30 p.m. Ms. Barrientos, can we have a roll call?
Yes, sir. Del Brazil. Victor Garza.
Yep.
James Mulkey. Here, Coach.
Coach, you here?
Monique Presses. Here. Steve Bryant. Mr. President, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Let's move on to item 2, prayer and pledge. Mr. Scano, who do we have tonight?
Crest. It'll be on your monitor.
Good evening, President Massengill, Superintendent Toscano, and the school board and community. My name is Joette Barnes, and I'm the principal at Oak Crest Elementary School. We are honored to be here tonight, and you have the opportunity to meet some of our fabulous Oak Crest students who will say the pledge in prayer.
Thank you, God, for everything you have blessed us with. We ask that you please watch over us, keep us safe and healthy, and help us to be the best we can be. Amen.
My name is Luis Correstieta. My name is Evan Sanchez. My name is Cepeda Melendez.
My name is Paisley File.
My name is Emma Tuna. My name is Lacey Monte. My name is Mariana. My name is Dominic Hernandez. My name is Amaya Ellis. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yo prometo tratar la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y de la república que representa una nación ante Dios, indivisible, con libertad y justicia para todos. Under the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Honro la bandera de Texas, te prometo tratar a ti, Texas, un estado ante Dios, único e indivisible.
Next, I would like to introduce some of Oak Crest's newest journalists.
Good evening, President Massengill, board members, Mr. Toscano, faculty, staff, family and friends, and community members. My name is Layton Lundberg, and with me is Evan Sanchez, Amaya Ellison, and you've already met Paisley.
We are here tonight to tell you about the process we use to write articles that were recently published by the Wilson County News.
As we were reading through the newspaper, we noticed they had a weekly writing corner where students could submit articles to be published. We selected the My Home Geography prompt because we were studying the regions of Texas in social studies.
Yes, we were studying TEAG 4.7b in Mr. Lawson's class, which is identify, locate, and compare the geographic regions of Texas. In Ms. Samora's writing class, we were also working on 4.11b, which is adding descriptive details. So this challenge was perfect for us, and we began our cross-curricular assignment.
The criteria for the challenge was to describe the geography where we live. This included bodies of water, deserts, valleys, landforms, weather, colors, and the feel of the place where we live, all in less than 150 words.
We used many of the things we've already learned in the 4th grade at Oak Crest and began writing our articles. We then spent a good amount of time revising and editing. When we were finished,
We sent them to the paper and anxiously waited for last week's issue. We were really excited to open the paper and find they had printed 6 of our articles.
We really appreciate the opportunity you gave us tonight to present our writing process at the board meeting. We know you are very busy with important business, and we thank you. We also know that the future of American journalism is in safe hands now that we are on the job.
Thank you for the opportunity to allow Oakcrest to showcase some of our great talents that we have. We hope that you enjoyed our presentation, and we hope that you have a blessed evening.
All right, we'll move on to item 3, awards and recognition. Mr. Toscano?
Sir, Mr. President, there are several employees we want to recognize this evening for exhibiting one or more of the values that we lift up in ECISD. So this time I'll turn it over to Brandon to recognize our employees one at a time.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Toscano and Board of Trustees. We do have quite a few great employees that we will be recognizing tonight. The first is Tracy Skillings. Is Tracy here? Come on up, Tracy. Tracy is a teacher from Crest Elementary for the value of collaboration. She was nominated by Denise Hunt. Ms. Skillings consistently collaborates not only with their grade level team, but goes above and beyond to share literary resources with the entire campus. She has also started a voluntary after-school literacy group for teachers to get together and share ideas to improve literacy in their classrooms. Next, we have Lisa Sanchez. Come on up.
No. Yeah, no. I'm going to go you then.
Yeah, a lot more than fish.
Is Lisa Sanchez here? Oh, there she is. All right, come on up. Lisa is a secretary at East Central High School, and she was nominated for the Value of Customer Service by Melissa Barnett-Kosian. Amidst the flood of parent phone calls expressing concerns regarding the new remote and face-to-face instructional rollout, she embodied the pinnacle of professionalism. She de-escalated parents' worries, also took detailed notes and records of her communication, providing the foundation for our campus's collaborative effort to help each and every family. Day after day and night after night, she worked to ensure that parents felt reassured by our district's plans. She walked parents through registering their students online, to teaching parents and students how to access their Google Classroom codes and teacher online registration. Lisa has always been a solution-oriented customer service approach. She is eager to learn and help everyone, not just because she has a caring heart, but she also takes pride in representing our district in only the best of light. She is community-centered, parent-centered, teacher-centered, and she embodies the EC way. And for that, she deserves our recognition and thanks. Next up, Ella Cepeda. What's that? What do you mean? Yeah. She is a teacher at Sinclair Elementary, and she was nominated for the Value of Adaptability by Lally Carr. She is deserving of this recognition as she has taken the responsibility to maximize success in a rapidly changing system during this time of COVID distance learning. She was quick to step in to mentor her team of brand new teachers. She's the only veteran teacher on her kindergarten team. When a teammate unexpectedly resigned, she was quick to step in and take on those students virtually until a replacement was chosen. She was also instrumental in leading her new team through a new district testing system, which proved challenging as many of our students were still remote. Through it all, she kept her Disney princess attitude, and she continues to lead her team with positivity and grit. Very good. Next, we have Violeta Barrientos. Violeta. Sorry. I'm sorry. She is a bilingual teacher from Legacy Middle School for the value of collaboration. She was nominated by Alma Rosa Martinez. Ms. Barrientos recently transferred from Salado Elementary to Legacy Middle School and immediately adapted to the new students' needs. Ms. Barrientos has demonstrated her ability to collaborate by maintaining her communication and support with her elementary colleagues as well as her middle school peers. Recently, there was an urgent need for support at her other middle school campus, and she quickly stepped up to the plate and helped them complete the task. Without a doubt, she has exhibited high levels of collaboration. And next up, we have Danny Zermano. Danny is an instructional assistant at Pecan Valley Elementary, and he was nominated for the Value of Persistence by Heather Jost. Danny is our PE paraprofessional. For the first month of school, we did not have a PE teacher. Danny took on that role not only for our face-to-face students, but also for our remote students. He persisted in learning how to navigate Google Classroom and conducting live PE sessions. He did it all with a smile and a positive attitude. And I believe Elvira couldn't make it tonight. Elvira's not here, right? There was one more, Elvira Preakshot, teacher in middle school, but she couldn't make it tonight. She was recognized for the value of collaboration. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your service. During a very difficult time, thank you for your service. Trustees, I'd also like to recognize or introduce you to one of our newest employees / family members here in the district. John Thomas is in the back of the room with us this evening, and John Thomas will serve as our new child nutrition director. He's been on the job for a few weeks and hit the ground running. Just to tell you a little bit about John, John started his career in child nutrition in 1998. And for the next 10 years, he spent time as a child nutrition director in Judson ISD and Northside ISD before being recruited into the private sector, where he stayed in the industry for the next 10 years, coordinating equipment sales, equipment training, proper kitchen design to allow for the most efficient kitchen function, to include a couple of projects over that time with East Central ISD. So he never left the industry. And we're happy that he's back in the field here in ECISD. The challenges are great, especially during this time where participation in child nutrition is a challenge. We're having to do it in very creative and innovative ways. He stepped in. He's made an immediate impact. We met just this week to talk about some strategies for increasing participation and some strategies for continuing to get nutritious meals in households across our community. We won't hold it against him, but he is a lifelong resident, graduate, and still resides in Church-Cibolo, Universal City, our friends and neighbors around the corner. His wife and him both graduated from Clemens High School, and his children have as well. He's got 2 in college, and he's got 1 still in Church-Cibolo ISD. I think it's important to say he's got 1 at Nebraska and 1 at Texas Tech, so he's a little bit of a house divided over there in that regard. And I know all about those tuition and fees for your children. But again, welcome to East Central ISD, John. We're proud to have you. Welcome to the family, and we look forward to many years together.
Welcome.
Oh, no.
With that, we're going to take a short break, which is a long time overdue because we're slowly but surely getting back to normal. So I'm glad to see that we get to take a break here and actually get out there and talk to y'all. And so we'll take a short break for we'll reconvene about 6:55. How about that? That'll give us 10 minutes to stretch our legs and talk to some people. So anyway, we'll come back at 6:55. 5. Call back to order. Move on to item 4, public comments. Ms. Colas, do we have any public comments?
No, sir, we do not.
That is awesome. Move on to item 5, public hearing for effectiveness of accelerated instruction for high school students. Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the hearing for effectiveness of accelerated instruction for high school students?
Mr. President, I'll just add that for trustees in your electronic packet, the report is there available for you on page 10.
I guess we don't have anybody that wants to speak on behalf of effectiveness of accelerated instruction for high school students. We'll move on to item 6, superintendent's report. Mr. Pisano?
Yes, sir. In your electronic packet on page 13, you'll find this month's personnel report. Also in your miscellaneous packet, Ms. Sanders in the personnel department provided our first go at an employee exit survey summary. And so she extracted from our responses. We had 24 surveys, 15 responses, positions in various roles in the district. And from that, we're able to extract a little bit of data. It's the first of what we'll be collecting throughout the year. And of course, we use this to not determine good or bad, but where opportunities are to provide ongoing support for our employees in an optimized work environment and make things better to the extent possible. And so this is useful information for us. There's a few things that we've taken from this to make a couple of adjustments already. And so we'll provide these for you quarterly as reports in your packet, and anything that we make adjustments on, we'll share with you as well. And this is one of our goals as an annual result measure this year under priority 3, high quality staff, I believe. And so we want to make this visible to you throughout the year. And it's visible, cascaded throughout all departments in our organization as well. So, be happy to answer any questions. And if, as always the case, if you would like any additional information, let me know and we'll get that to you.
Quick question on the
Yes, sir.
comments.
Mhm. Yes. So yes, ma'am. So we introduced somebody to you today to assist with that. Thank you. And that's it on the personnel report.
Move on to item B, bilingual ESL department annual report and certification, exemptions and waivers. Mr. Scott?
Yes, sir, Mr. President and trustees, in your electronic packet, beginning on page 17, you'll see our exemptions and waivers that we send to the commissioner each and every year as needed, as well as our program evaluation, which is an annual requirement we bring to the board this time each and every year. That's on page 18 and runs through page 35. In that report, there's also some progress data. It's a little bit lagging. It's from 18-19, but we always include that in the report to see if how our students are progressing on that particular assessment. To provide the board with a quick overview, I'd like to introduce our director of Bilingual and ESL programs, Dr. Amarosa.
Thank you, board members, President Messingale, Mr. Toscano, and ECISD leaders. So for allowing us the opportunity to meet the state requirement of presenting our bilingual and ESL program evaluation. You all have been provided a copy of the full report, but instead of me going over the 19-page report, I'm doing it with a PowerPoint fast. So with that, these are our core beliefs that we maintained, we've established last year, and we have been working on to unify our efforts in our department, in our bilingual ESL and LODI program departments. We have a lot of celebrations that we want to share before we get to the report. And one of them is our banner. Our banner reads, "I want to be bilingual, querer es poder." That means if you want to accomplish that, you can do it. Everything on the left side are different processes that we've established throughout the year to help our teachers, our students, and our communities. We're very proud of our videos that help our parents understand our programs. And all of this is available in our webpage or in our curriculum toolkit. One of our focuses this past year has been building teacher capacity, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. Not only have we provided 54 sessions of professional development, we had 677 attendees, and several of our teachers presented in different conferences, and we're extremely proud of that. We obviously have a picture to represent what we've been talking about. These are all of our teachers representing East Central in the city of San Antonio in different conferences. We're extremely proud of our Spanish Spelling Bee winners. We placed second at the high school level and second at the middle school level. This is a competition that Region 20 puts together for all of our districts, and it is a hard competition. And we're very, very proud that our students played at a second grade. We're going for first place this year, so just know that. We are extremely proud of a multicultural celebration that brings in our communities to our schools, Oak Crest and Salado. They're very well attended, and some of the things that we hear all the time is how excited parents are to see their students speak in two languages, Spanish and English in this case. We are also very proud of this group of students. We had an opportunity to take 23 high school students that would be first generation to go to college. We put together this group. We went on it was an amazing opportunity for them to learn about scholarships, about different opportunities for them to continue their education. Why do we do all of this? Because we have a very diverse population here at East Central. Approximately, we have 12 different languages. The information of the different languages is there for you at this table. Obviously, largest number is Spanish speaking, but we have a large number of Arabic and Chinese students, and I believe Vietnamese also is our larger number. So how do we support this diverse population? We have different programs, bilingual, ESL programs at our 7 elementaries, 2 middle schools, and now 2 high schools. Our LODI programs are the ones that help us maintain that trajectory for Spanish development for our students. For each one of these programs, if you click on the link, it takes you to the website, to TEA, and I am very proud to say that we follow guidelines to the T. We are very good standards with our programs. This is a little bit more information about what we show in our website. It's the top picture. The other 2 pictures are our pre-K and our kinder through 5th grade allotment for both languages. Our intent is to be very transparent, that there's no questions about what's happening in our programs. We also have this that we developed for our secondary level, which again, the left side is the one that we show in our website. The right side is the one that we show with our counselors and our teachers and parents. We have a trajectory to maintain that English language development and make sure that our students are acquiring English. And we are very proud of our testing center. These are numbers that have gone through our testing center for identification purposes, 85. Reclassification, we're still not done. We will be done by the end of this month. We've approximately tested 105 students. And then after we're done with that, we're going to continue testing 10 students at the elementary level that qualify for high school credit based on their performance. We are also working with Title III funding, and these are some of the things that we've invested our Title III fundings into. We now have an app that has an interpreter for all the different kinds of languages that teachers can use to speak to parents. Especially during this time, it was very difficult to communicate with some of the parents in obviously other languages. So now it's at their hand. They can use an app that we are using for interpreters. These are the compliance piece, which is the reason that we're here today. These are the different things that we've done to meet the compliance of the different programs that we have. And that brings us to where we are right now, which is our bilingual education exemption and ESL waivers. I was sharing with Mr. Toscano that last year we ended the year with approximately 109 teachers that were ESL certified. But due to what happened, we lost a lot of the teachers. So just know that, for example, at high school, a lot of our teachers are new to our district. So that's why we're in this situation of not having teachers fully ESL certified. But we're taking care of it. We have a plan, and we know that we will succeed in what we expect. And future goals, we still don't give up. We want to create our dual language at the secondary level. And these are our goals for following years. And last but not least, this is our department. And thank you very much for all of your support. It's been an amazing journey, and we're looking forward to continue supporting our family at East Central. Any questions? No questions.
Well done.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome.
A quick question on the other languages.
Yes, ma'am.
How are the students taught? Are they?
ESL program, by the ESL program. So the dual language obviously teaches Spanish, English. The students of other languages, we target with the ESL program, which are basically strategies, sheltered instruction strategies of how to communicate and immerse them into English, develop English.
So who is there though to try and explain to these students in their native language?
It's in
It's all
English.
just
It's in
English?
English. So teachers, that's the reason for the ESL certification, go through trainings and then have to get an assessment, a certificate that helps them be prepared specifically for those situations when students do not speak the language.
Sorry, I'm asking a question. So that teacher, she gets immersed in that language that she can.
No.
The child, how do they?
Yeah, how do they?
She didn't know
Exactly.
Oriental word or Chinese words or.
No, she doesn't. It's all through methodologies of second language acquisition. So that's why the teachers have to be prepared. We've created some modules that we have for them that we are calling high yield strategies that helps us. And it's all different kinds of strategies. Something as simple as visuals, repetition, slowing down of what we're explaining. So there's a lot of trainings that our teachers go through so that they can help these students acquire language. And believe me, it works. It works. Mhm. And if I don't want to run more time, but we have evidence data that proves that students that have been in our ESL programs have been very successful.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for that.
Right, Dr. Put?
Thank you so much.
We're working on her energy. We want to get her, you know.
Yeah. I thought I was listening to Mr. Selby.
Thank you, Dr. Martinez.
Thank
We
you,
appreciate
sir.
it.
Yeah, I thought Mr. Selby was down there.
This is wrong. This is wrong.
All right, move on to item C, 2020 Community-Based Accountability Report. Mr. Toscano.
Yes, sir. Trustees, this year's iteration, which is our third public community-based accountability report that we've published, thanks to our Marcom department, Brandon and the team back there. They did a fantastic job once again. And you can see that each and every year it gets more clear, it gets more comprehensive, more informative for the community. So what I want to do is have Dr. Fuller just provide an overview of kind of the structure of this report and what you'd find in the report, and then kind of a little bit about where we're going with this report, what our vision is for where we ultimately want this thing to be in terms of the way that it's structured and designed. So, Dr. Fuller?
Good evening, Mr. Massengale, Mr. Toscano, Board of Trustees. As Mr. Toscano said, we're proud of our third annual CBAS report. In this, you have, in your packet, you do have a digital copy as well, so that if any changes, this is our first iteration, are made, it will be made to the digital copy. But what happens is, as you know, we have 7 pillars for our CBAS: student learning and progress, engaged, well-rounded students. Pillar 3 is quality and commitment of staff. Pillar 4 is student, staff, and well-being. Pillar 5 is post-secondary readiness. 6 is community engagement and partnerships. And 7 is fiscal and operational systems. As you go through this well put together book that Mr. Oliver helped put us together for us, each of the pillars is explained. So for example, on page 3, you have student learning and progress. At the top, you will see the pillar function, which is basically the definition of what that pillar is in East Central ISD. Then it's broken down, and this is into like sub-pillars, if you will. So those topics that are in yellow that really talk about the subheadings for this pillar. And then the data is underneath the subheadings for you that have been collected over the year that tell you how we did with the implementation of that pillar. Then at the end of each pillar, there's a findings section. And the findings section is basically what a committee of staff put together to show what we're celebrating and then what things based on the data that we are going to be focusing on this year. And those findings you will find that we put inside of our improvement plan, our CG plans. So many of the sub-departments and or the district improvement plan will include the things from the findings so that we will continue to work on those this year as we are continuing to grow in these pillars. So as you go through, you'll see each one of the pillars that's explained and pictures that the staff has collected throughout the year to represent the work that has been done. As Mr. Toscano said, one of the iterations that we're working on, and we talked with you guys about last spring in our goal setting, is we went through each pillar and we had about, I would say, maybe 10 to 15 key questions at that time per pillar. And that was a little overwhelming to collect data on. And some of them were really broad, some of them were really specific, and some of them were kind of redundant. Because that was kind of our first go at making any sort of key questions. So what we did this past spring, and we presented to you at goal settings, is we went through and pared down and really kind of broadened some of those questions up. So each pillar now has about 2 to 4 questions per pillar. So in our next iteration of our 4th CBAS report for at the beginning of next year, it will be centered around those key questions. And so it will be more on what the community really wanted us to look at and not quite so technical in nature in some of the nitty-gritty that we put in here. And it'll be aligned more to that external scorecard that we've shared with you through our CG process. And so we're going to be working this year to redo the format for ease of use for the community and to align really to that external scorecard of those key questions that the committee designed. Any questions that you have or comments?
Well, that's very well done. Great.
And these go out to, where do they go?
So Brandon, do you mind talking a little bit about how we push this out and where it's all located? Now, we do have hard copies like this available for any citizen that wants it, but our primary modes of communication and distribution are electronic. So Brandon, if you wouldn't mind sharing how we pushed it out and where it's at.
Nice. It really, really was a group effort. For each pillar, can I just add one
Yeah,
more?
absolutely.
For each pillar, there's a subcommittee, and the subcommittee is designed of district and campus people that really have the broad perspective and work deeply in that topic. And so they work to collect artifacts and data and pictures throughout the year of the work that's being done and also the implementation. And so this really does take a collective broad stroke effort across the district. And then Mr. Oliver just makes it look beautiful. And pushes it out to people.
Yes. It's already on the front page of the website, if you can see on the monitor right there. And so a link will take you right to it.
Feel free to watch the video this evening if you'd like.
You know, we didn't need to update it. It was so
Really?
good.
Well, we should update it because I'm much wiser now, so we should redo it. The users can use this virtual magazine style, and they can zoom in and all that stuff. They can download a PDF copy if they want. And we've already pushed this out on social yesterday. We'll have some more postings as well. And then we'll probably blast it out this week and via email to everybody.
Really nice.
Nice.
I like that.
Very well done.
Good. Very good. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Dr. Fuller.
Now we know why everybody wants to move out here.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you all very much. That's a lot of work and I'm sure a big team effort. So congratulations. It's well done.
Absolutely.
Move on to item D, Safety and Security District Audit Report. Mr. Scano.
Yes, sir. And another reason why folks are really happy out here is we definitely have always made it a priority to ensure the safety and security of our facilities and the safety and security of our students and staff. in those facilities. And so annually, we do update our safety management plans and our emergency response plans. And every 3 years per statute, we do a comprehensive audit of our safety and security program across the district. And so that report is in your electronic packet, but I would like for Ms. Colas, who facilitates this process, to give the board a quick overview of some of our findings and maybe just a highlight of what this all entails. It's on page, the report is on page 38 and 39 in your electronic packet.
Good evening, President Massengale, Mr. Toscano, members of the board. Our safety and security audit for the last 3 years, I'm proud to say that we have definitely improved, especially in the area of training, technology, partnerships, and facilities. We have increased our memorandums of understanding, which is collaboration with law enforcement agencies and mental health nonprofits that we work with now and partner to increase our students' mental health and wellness. We have also enhanced our visitor access controls, and our interior buildings have been reconfigured and hardened. Our entry vestibules that you'll see, right, walking into our buildings, that has been done through the 2016 bond. Those are some highlights. Our district emergency management team was updated with the Senate Bill 11, and we now have all of the appropriate people on it, which we did before, but it was updated. So we're meeting on schedule. Our emergency operations plans are all intact and updated annually and have been. We have one for the district, we have one for each campus, and one for each instructional or non-instructional facility. And we also have added threat assessment teams at each campus and the district level. We have added safety personnel to include officers and safety monitors at our secondary level. Trainings and drills are going as scheduled. We've got audits that are done by assistant principals, custodians, and building mechanics monthly. And then our PD does an annual review of each facility. So I'm proud to say that as far as training, I think that we do an outstanding job, better than most districts, for our students and our staff. And it is a very comprehensive program that we have put together. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Does anybody have any questions? No?
Well
presented. Dale, or y'all have any questions, Mr. Mulkey? No?
Well presented.
Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate that. Awesome. All right, we'll move on to item E, upcoming events. Mr. Toscano.
Trustees, just call your attention to your October, November calendar. In particular, your November calendar. A few things to point out. Obviously, we're in early voting period as we speak, but our election day is on November 3rd. That is a school holiday. If you'll recall, the board changed Battle of Flowers holiday with November 3rd to enable us to offer the county some sites for election day, and so that we wouldn't have students and staff there commingling and wouldn't run into those issues. In addition to that, the 11th is a Veterans Day holiday for staff and students. There'll be, as always the case that week, many recognitions of our local veterans at campuses throughout our district. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting is on the 17th. I would like to point out that Mr. Massengale may be in touch with the board between now and then, because we are transitioning from Board Book to a software called Board Docs, very similar. And so we'll have a virtual webinar, just a quick briefing on how to use that tool. Very similar to what we currently use, but there are some subtle differences and some additional features that I think the board will enjoy. And so between now and then, Mr. Massengale will work together with him and you guys to set up a webinar training on Board Docs. Also, this year's Thanksgiving break is the week of the 23rd, so the district will be closed for the Thanksgiving break during that time frame. And on the 30th, we have a staff training and a student holiday. That's all I have on the upcoming events.
All right, that looks good. Appreciate that.
Sir?
On a sad note, though, for Thanksgiving, it'll be the first time my wife and I, after 13 years of consecutive years of hosting airmen, they are not doing it this year.
Oh,
So, yeah, we found out this week that, so after 13 years in a row, we're not going to be able to host any airmen. So we'll have to do something different, I guess. So, yeah, we'll do something. We'll figure it out. So, all right, well, let's move on to, that's all right. We'll make it positive out. We'll make lemonade out of lemons somehow. We'll move on to the action agenda. Item A, 2020-2021 amended list of certified T-test appraisers. Mr. Toscano?
Sir, trustees, the board has already approved the list of T-test appraisers. So what we're bringing to you tonight is an amendment with one minor change. We've added our academic facilitator, Margarita Lozano, who's a certified administrator and a certified T-test appraiser at Crest. We have the need for some additional support for teacher evaluation there on that campus. And so we had one in-house ready to go. We just need to have the board approve that amendment. And so we're bringing this to you tonight for consideration. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Dale, James, y'all got any questions?
Nothing good. Thank you.
No? All right, we're good.
Mr. President, I recommend board approval of the amended list of certified T-test appraisers for the 2020-2021 school years presented.
We have a recommendation from the superintendent to approve the amended list of certified T-test appraisers for the 2020-2021 school year. Do I have a motion?
So move.
We have a motion from Mr. Victor Garza. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second from Ms. Del Brazil. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We move on to item B, 2021-2022 CAS Lead High School new courses. Mr. Scano?
Trustees, we wanted to bring this to you tonight as an action item because we're pretty excited about the ongoing work at CAS Lead. As we're all familiar, this is an innovative school model that has a very unique partnership with business and industry, in particular high demand sectors in our local economy. And we have an advisory board, an industry advisory board that works very closely with us to help inform our programs of study and subsequently the design of some of our career and technology courses, because what business and industry has always told us is that kids are graduating but they have antiquated skills, and that the industries have evolved and kids are getting lagging skills. They need to be more on the front edge of that skill development. And what better way to do that than to have practicing professionals in those fields advise our curriculum development. And so what we're bringing to you tonight are some new courses that our CAS Lead students are able to take. Again, our programs of study are going to focus in the area of retail, hospitality, tourism, e-commerce, and leadership in all of those sectors. And so the courses that we're bringing to you tonight have descriptions there, which program of study they're aligned to, but we have some really interesting courses like touch system data entry, retail management, advertising, travel and tourism management, hotel management, and foundations of the user experience, web communications, web design, virtual business, sports and entertainment marketing, global business, and general employability skills. And if you just hear this, the titles of those courses, you can see how they're relevant. And they're very aligned to the things that kids need. And these kids are starting to get this kind of experience at the age of 14, and they'll matriculate through that program of study and actually be mentored by these leaders in these sectors in local industry. Their teachers will be engaged with these industry advisors, and ultimately our kids will be mentored in the field. They'll have internships in the field. They'll have interviews in the field, and hopefully they'll pursue careers and continuing education in one or more of these sectors in the local economy. So again, our real big goal as a school district is to make sure that by the time kids leave us, they know what they're interested in, they know what they're good at, They know what value that has, what opportunities there will be in the local economy or in the global economy, and they know what they got to do to get there, and they position themselves to do that. So they're super informed. They're not just going to college to go to college and spending their parents' money and earning and accruing a bunch of debt and then not being able to be employed when they're done. Much more aware, much more informed, much more tightly coupled to the economy as it's evolving rapidly. And so, again, we just wanted to lift up these courses to you publicly so that you can see that we're advancing the work. We're making a theory a reality, and we're really excited about the opportunities that this is bringing to these students and what we'll be able to scale and replicate for all students as the years go by. So I'll be happy to answer any additional questions the board might have about any of those courses.
You said I know when they get to high school, age 14 is a freshman.
Mhm.
Okay. So being that this is new and we really want to, are we sharing this? If this is an option at the lower levels, like, 8th, 7th, 8th grade, are we letting them know, hey, look what's up here, CAST, take them on tours, or, I know we haven't been able to do that of late. But are they
No, you're absolutely. And in fact, COVID-19 did derail us. We spent a lot of time, CAST Network spent a lot of time, Dr. Fuller and her team, the other Dr. Fuller, who's principal at CAST Lead, and her team, called families of 8th grade students personally. They spent time at the junior highs. They spent time out in the community. They spent time at the high school at events where, rising freshmen were going to be. And we had over 100 students interested, and then COVID happened. And so this first cohort is about 55 students. They're doing fantastic, but our goal is to have 120 students a cohort, and to build that program out over 4 years. And so those numbers are a little bit lower than the first year CAST program. The numbers we were tracking were higher than what would be expected in a CAST startup cohort. So we're still optimistic that we're going to build out a proof of concept that really the best marketing is a referral. And we think that the kids and their families telling other kids and families about their experience and the opportunities, we think is going to exponentially begin to grow interest. And that's what the other CAST schools have seen as well. And we just think ours is more exciting. And so,
pretty good for in the middle of a pandemic?
yeah, absolutely. I think so. We think so, for sure. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Brazil, Mr. Mulkey, y'all have any questions?
Oh, real good. Let's not. Yeah, I just wanted to say I think this is very exciting, and so just tell us. Thank you.
All right.
All right, Mr. President, I recommend board approval of the 2021-2022 CAST Lead High School new courses as presented.
We have a recommendation from the superintendent to approve the 2021-2022 CAST Lead High School new courses. Do I have a motion? I have a motion from Ms. Monique Priestis. I have a second? I have a second from Claudio Barrientos. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Shut up. It is, but it's very effective. We'll move on to item C, approval of the architectural instruction and administration services for security vestibules at Highland Forest Elementary and Oak Crest Elementary. Mr. Toscano.
Yes, sir. Trustees, as Ms. Colas presented earlier, we have really made significant advancements in recent years in the safety and security of our facilities. And as a continuation of our efforts to do so, some of the campuses that weren't part of the bond program are also slated for hardening entry and visitor management programs. And so our next two campuses that we're focusing on this year for entry vestibule improvements are Highland Forest and Oak Crest. LPA is who we are recommending to provide the architectural and project management services for these two projects. When you're talking about these kinds of services where we don't go out for competitive bids per statute, that those contracts for those services are made, are given by boards based on demonstrated competence and qualification to perform those services and for a fair and reasonable price. And so we know that we've had a long-standing relationship with LPA, who has provided those services in our last 2 bond programs, and had completed the designs and those services for the other campuses whose vestibules were already improved and hardened. And so the districts, again, worked with LPA on several projects. The fees for those services are always going to be based on the basic fee schedule for architectural services that was previously adopted by the board. And so we think that they're not only qualified, they have demonstrated body of work for the district, and they offer their services at a fair value. We have to answer any questions.
Is there any input from the police department?
That's a fantastic question. Chief is actually facilitating that work. All safety and security as it relates to access controls, hardening vestibules, radios, surveillance cameras. So Chief's actually doing quite a bit of project management as we speak. And
Great.
Will that complete the work in all the schools? Will it all be done? Or?
that will complete the work at all of our elementary schools. And then we're going to move to our secondary campuses next. We have done some work at our secondary campuses, but not to this extent. So those will be our next phase.
Is there a possibility of pursuing another grant for the middle school?
Well, we're always searching different avenues with TEA and also with the policing department. We're always looking out for avenues.
And we are doing some access control work at Legacy, I believe.
At Legacy, yes, sir. I'm good.
All right.
I would ask you.
Okay. Sure.
It always happens.
Sure.
Okay, so the front
Mhm.
are all redone
Mhm.
and stayed towards all that. What about the backs of the schools? Like, what are we doing in the back? I mean, I know the doors are locked and everything like that, but they're the big exit doors. Like, for instance, if you go out on the playground, there's big doors. Or what about I know at Harmony, there's gym doors that I'm sure those are rolled down and locked. But is there ever a concern about the back part of the school being approached? And if so, what are we doing about that?
Yeah. So there's and Chief, you can feel free to jump in anytime, but the concept is you have to have multiple layers of perimeter security. So our perimeter fencing is the first line of defense. We have security cameras all around our facilities that are monitored all day, every day. Our exterior doors, part of the program project that Chief is working on now, are access controls so that they will stay locked all the time. That's one of the challenges that we've had, is that, you know, on one hand, if you're going to keep them locked when teachers are taking kids in and out of the playground, you got to give everybody a exterior master key, which decreases security, because if one of those keys were locked, you got issues. So you need access controls, A, so that you don't have to give keys out to everybody, and B, you can monitor who's going in and out, and you can monitor when those doors are locked or unlocked as well. So
And also, we have another layer, our front receptionist. She's gonna have 2 monitors on her computer. One monitor is just for the rear and front cameras. She's always monitoring and observing. This year we changed our staff ID cards to include access control chips in them. So now staff, especially the elementary, are out there with the kiddos in playground time and recess time. Come in and just get that access control thing, open the door, get their kids in and out, and let them the staff stay there. Those doors are always locked.
and we can always monitor when they come in, when they come out, who's coming in, who's coming out, because of the access control that is automated now through the ID system, staff ID system.
If you control with the software that we practice, not to let her practice unless she needs to visit her own practice for educational purposes. Access control her part. So we're eliminating the keys. Number one, and number two is quicker to get inside the building with that access control in case we do have an active situation and get those kids funded and locked down so we can secure. Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Got any more questions? All right,
Okay.
Mr. Descano.
All right, Mr. President, I recommend board approval of contracting with LPA Incorporated for architectural construction administration services related to security vestibules at Highland Forest and Oak Crest Elementary as presented.
We have a recommendation from the superintendent for the approval of the contract with LPA for architectural construction and administration service related to security vestibules. Do I have a motion?
So move.
I have a motion from Claudia Barrientos. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Mr. Victor Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item D, reappointment of directors to the East Central School Foundation. Mr. Toscano.
Trustees, we're bringing tonight for your consideration the reappointment of Joe Ritterhouse from Ritterhouse and Associates and Gretchen Stepke from Holt Cat to 3-year terms as directors of the East Central School Foundation, effective January 1, 2021.
Anybody got any questions? No. All right. We're good.
Mr. President, I recommend reappointment of Joe Ritterhouse and Gretchen Stepke to 3-year terms as directors of the East Central School Foundation, effective January 21, 2021.
We have a recommendation from the superintendent to reappoint Joe Ritterhouse and Gretchen Stepke to 3-year terms as directors of East Central School Foundation, effective January 1, 2021. Do I have a motion?
So move.
I have a motion from Mr. Victor Garza. I have a second. Mr. Mulkey has the second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Consent agenda. Would anybody like to have anything pulled from the consent agenda? All right. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So move.
Have a motion from Ms. Monique Presses and a second from Mr. Victor Garza. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Adjournment. Motion.
Oh.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're done. Thank y'all for coming.